Welcome back, my furniture flipping enthusiasts. It's Kara from Lemons to Lemonade Furniture, and today we've got something truly special for you. Get ready to dive into my hottest furniture flips for 2023, and the most exciting part, these aren't just eye-catching transformations, they've also been my top money-making flips of this year. So you heard it right, we're not just talking design, we're talking about designs that turn heads and bring in the big bucks. Trust me, you won't believe what we've got in store for number 3. So buckle up for a journey through my most profitable and surprising transformations. Let's get started. First most profitable flip to start us off is this 1970s chunky funky dresser. This one's become known as the geode dresser in my house because what we ended up doing with it. But this guy started off as a buffet. It had a china cabinet on the top, which is what led to all of these scratches. It's a solid piece. It's going to turn into something beautiful once we get started. So let's give this thing a good clean. I scrub all of my pieces down with Simple Green. It is a really good degreaser that gets off any dirt, grease, grime, and furniture polish that has built up over the years. And it just makes sure that I start off with a clean surface before I move on to my next steps. You know this dated hardware has got to go, so we're going to remove these and find something a little more on trend. Before we get too far, let me introduce you to today's video sponsor.
Okay, so I totally have something to confess. I found a way to turn my thoughts into cash, and I'm about to spill the beans on how I've done this. So I've been using Prime Opinion, an online survey company, for a few months now, and I make some really easy money just by sharing my opinions on products. Prime Opinion offers a high number of US surveys that are available 24/7, meaning there's always an opportunity for you to share your thoughts and your insights and earn some money. And guess what? The payouts for these are actually pretty fantastic. There's a low redemption threshold, making it easy for you to cash in your opinions. I can choose surveys that are worth a certain amount of points, and I can also choose surveys that tell me exactly how much time it's going to take me to take the survey. So if I've got a few minutes while I wait for the kids to pick them up from practice, I'll just sit in my car and jump on and earn some quick cash. It's super fun and really easy. All new users to Prime Opinion, they have an exciting welcome bonus just waiting for you guys as a way to say thank you for joining the Prime Opinion family. Prime Opinion has a fantastic lineup of great US surveys that not only make you think, but they also fatten your wallet. Your thoughts are valuable and they want to reward you for them. So what are you guys waiting for? Click the link in my description below to sign up for Prime Opinion today. And remember, at Prime Opinion, your voice is not just heard, it's rewarded.
Back to the funky chunky dresser, I am going to use my Festool sander with the squishy foam abrasive and sand down the bottom of this and also the very top. This is solid wood, so I don't have to worry about burning through any of the veneer. I'm going to give the top and bottom of this a little bit of a different look, and I find that it sells better in my Dallas area when I do that. Now to paint the body of the dresser, I will cover my sanded top and bottom so I don't get any paint on it before I can start. I chose the color White Rhino from Wise Owl's 1 Hour Enamel collection. This is a really beautiful white that has a gray undertone to it. I'll load it into my gravity-fed HVLP spray gun and paint the body of the dresser. Wise Owl's 1 Hour Enamel has a built-in primer and top coat, which will save me some additional steps. I'm giving you the shortened version of these videos. If you want to see the long form for more step-by-step, be sure to visit the description below. I'll have all of them linked, but I've already pre-stained the top and the bottom of this bare wood that I sanded back, and now I'm using Minwax Special Walnut Stain to help stain the top and the bottom and give it just a little extra color and get a little bit of that orange wood tone out of there. Once my stain is dried completely, I'm using Minwax One Coat Polyurethane to give the top and bottom of this a very tough, durable finish. This particular polyurethane is especially thick, so I like to use a brush to apply this with instead of a poly sponge. Now that my poly's dried overnight, I'm attaching my beautiful geode handles that I found off of Amazon for the perfect finishing touch. Let's revisit this original Chunky Funky buffet that I originally picked up for $40 at an estate sale. I sold it for the bargain price of $950. I absolutely loved this one. Beautiful wood, beautiful condition. I loved how it upgraded from its former self. Definitely went to a new home where it's going to be loved for many years to come. Let me know what you think of this first flip in the comments below. Did I do this piece some justice? So now we're going from buffets to media cabinets. We found this one on Facebook Marketplace. The owner was moving and wanted it gone, so it was listed for free. We went in our car and grabbed it as soon as we could. It's pretty damaged, as you could see, and it needs a little bit of work, but you won't believe what this guy is about to turn into. We got out the simple green with some warm water to give everything a good scrub down. This was pretty dirty from wherever this was sitting before. We removed all the hardware. We're definitely going to be using this again. It's so cool on this piece, and we're going to turn this into a little MCM goodness. Chris is removing the base on this one to get rid of some of the chunkiness and heaviness on the bottom, and we're going to replace this with some really funky legs from Amazon that'll give this an updated look. The top of this was pretty trashed, as you saw from the previous pictures, so we're using 180 grit sandpaper to smooth down the surface before we can paint. And it's always important to do a light scuff sand on anything else that you intend to paint. It just helps give the paint something to grab onto. We have a few different surfaces on this dresser between veneer and particle board, so we're just going to make sure that we prime this so nothing ends up coming through our final paint job. We're going to use a darker color on this one, so Chris is using a gray primer. We've chosen the color Aloe Green by Melange, and then we'll load this into our gravity-fed HVLP sprayer. Once the paint's had plenty of time to dry, we'll top coat it with some Minwax polyurethane. This is a water-based polyurethane, so it makes cleanup a breeze in our HVLP spray gun. Once those new handles were cleaned and scrubbed down, I gave them a fresh coat of gold spray paint. Brief intermission while I tell you about my new Patreon page. As a debt-free furniture flipping influencer, I've been working hard to bring you all relevant content that interests you. And with the help of Patreon, I can continue to do that on a more in-depth personal level. For those who may not know, Patreon is a platform that allows fans to support creators directly. By becoming a subscriber, you'll get exclusive access to more in-depth content, a weekly update on what's in my garage and what I'm currently working on. We go over in-depth debt reduction and budget strategies and so much more. And you'll be directly supporting my work, which means the world to me. I want to take a moment to thank my current subscribers. Your support means so much, and I'm so grateful for your belief in my work. If you're interested in learning more, you can check out my Patreon page with the link below. I've created a few different tiers for each interest level, and I hope you'll come check it out and join me over there. Now that the handles are dry, let's start reattaching them. I found these cute tapered legs on Amazon. They were already the perfect color, so we're just going to get them attached. Let's take one last quick look at this free dresser from Facebook Marketplace. I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite flips that we did all year. Again, the price point was free, and I sold this one for $700. If you are interested in the paint colors that I used or any of the supplies, I'll have them all linked in the description boxes below. Next up on the block is a mission style dresser that we got off of Facebook Marketplace again. We paid $75 for this and it's in pretty good shape, so let's start flipping. As always, it starts off with a good clean with some good simple green degreaser. I like this one best because, quite honestly, it's easy to find and it works so well. This will cut through any grease, grime, and furniture polish that's been left behind. A lot of times these dressers have been coated in furniture polish, and you want to make sure that you get all of that off there before you paint. This dresser is going to get a total upgrade, so I'm taking those old handles off of there and filling in the old hardware holes. We're going to find something that's a little more on trend off of Amazon. I end up altering the bases on a lot of my projects. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just find that for me in my Dallas area, this really helps upgrade my selling price. It could make the difference between an extra $200 to $300 for me, so it's worth the time and effort. It doesn't take very much once you get used to it. It's just sometimes loosening boards, making sure that whatever you're going to add to the bottom has enough reinforcements to hold on to any extra legs or a base build that you do. And another trick that does well for me selling is when I sand down the top to bare wood and then stain it a different color than the body of the dresser. This again takes maybe an extra 30 minutes to an hour to do, but it can mean the difference of a few $100s for me in the selling price. I painted this one live over the summer on my YouTube channel, which is why some of the footage looks a little different, and I'm using the color Caviar by Sherwin-Williams in their Emerald Trim collection. This also has a built-in primer and top coat, which will save me some extra steps. Now that the body of the dresser is dry, I'll peel off the paper and tape on the top and start working on the bare wood. I chose the color Birchwood from Minwax in their professional stain colors. I'm using a staining sponge to apply this with. It helps me get plenty of product on the top, and then once it sits for just a few seconds, I'll wipe it back to give me the desired look that I'm going for. This is similar to a paint wash or a whitewash. I just like the stain capabilities of this because it really does penetrate into the wood for a long-lasting finish. I'll be adding some simple legs onto this dresser and I want them to match, so I'll use the exact same stain that I used on the top. These drawers have large indents in them, which makes it impossible for me to use my hardware template. So I do this tape trick where I measure where the holes are for my hardwood, and then I'll transfer this tape onto the center of my drawers to make my holes and make sure they are perfectly straight. I'll finish the top of this dresser off with Minwax 1-coat polyurethane and a paintbrush. I'll go in the direction of the wood grain to apply this, and this will just ensure that this dresser has plenty of life left ahead of it to help deter any bumps or scratches. One last look at this mission style pine dresser from Facebook Marketplace. Yes, I paid $75 for this one, which is a decent price these days, and then I sold it for $700. $700 is pretty much my going rate around here in my Dallas area, and I'm pretty happy with that number. That leaves me with a nice profit at the end of the day. This was flip number 3, and you'll have to tell me your favorite in the comment section below. Next up is this heavily ornate dresser that I got from an auction site. I've got my work cut out for me on this one, as it has a lot of dated details that I'm going to need to get rid of to see if I can make a profit on this one. Plus, the entire top of this is particle board, which presents its own challenge. Means I can't take this top down and do the normal wood grain look, so I've got to resort to something a little different. Just keep watching. Now that I've got the dresser clean of all the dirt and grime, I'll do a scuff sand on the body of the dresser to make sure that my paint adheres nicely. I'm being a little more aggressive on the top of this because there are some scratches that I need to get out. I'll wipe back all the sanding dust with a damp cloth and cover the top so that I don't get any paint on it. I'm going to do something a little different on the top. The body of this dresser is solid wood and it will have some tannins that will bleed through. I'm going to paint this a light color, so I definitely need to prime first. My primer has settled to the bottom, so I'm using my stir stick that attaches to my drill just to make sure I give everything a good mix. This is the first coat of primer going on. It took 2 coats for full coverage. Once the primer's dry, I'm taking a 400 grit sanding sponge and knocking down any bits and bumps. I'm using one of my favorite colors from Country Chic Paint, and that is called Pop the Bubbly. It is a nice neutral beigey color with a little bit of a pinky undertone. It'll run through my gravity fed sprayer. I add just a little bit of water in there to give it the perfect mix, and off we go. This dresser took 2 coats of Pop the Bubbly for full coverage, and I still had more than half a can left over. For the top of this dresser, I'm going to give it a real wood look effect using Retique It. I've linked this entire kit that I'm using in the video description below, so if you're interested on the exact colors, you can always check it out there. But first, I'll apply the Retique It primer with a paintbrush. The primer has 80% wood grains in it, so it gives it that real natural wood look right from the start. Once that primer was dry, I took out my wood graining tools to figure out exactly what pattern I wanted to make on the top of this. I laid down a light layer of stain and went to work with my favorite wood graining tool. This is just a simple rocking back and forth motion to create this pattern, and then you'll switch it to the opposite side for the next line that you make so that your wood grain looks a little more natural. This is a really easy technique to play along with and very forgiving, so if you messed up a line, you would just simply wipe it back and apply another layer of stain and try again. Once you've got the graining pattern just the way you want it, you'll apply an extra layer of stain just to sort of set in that wood look, or you could leave it just as is. It's really up to you. This product is really easy to play with and super fun. I added simple gold bars and gold feet to the bottom of this dresser just to give it a little bit of elevation and a less dated look. And to make sure that the top had an extra durable finish, I used Retiket's polyurethane top coat. And just a quick before peek at this heavily ornate dated dresser. This one set me back $5 at an estate sale, and look at it now. Totally new and unique with that wood grain faux top and a new beautiful paint color, some legs to give it a little elevation, and some simple gold bars just to help take your eyes off a lot of those details. I sold this one on Facebook Marketplace for $650. I know you guys, this one is funky, so stay with me. This is definitely a 1980s treasure right here. Mostly particle board and MDF. I think the drawers were solid wood, but that was it. We had our work cut out for us. It had penny stains on the top of it. I'm not quite sure how you get penny stains, but there they are. And I definitely paid the most out of pocket for this one. It was $120 off Facebook Marketplace, but as soon as I saw it, I knew what I could do to this guy. But of course, we've got to get it exceptionally clean first. So this is a comment I get quite often on my channel, is why do you clean your pieces first before you sand? And well, this is just my opinion. You are welcome to argue this point with me if you'd like, but I've seen this happen before to me personally, and that's why I always do this step. When you've got grease and grime specifically, maybe not dirt, but grease from fingerprints and things like that, and then you don't clean it off and then you sand, you are going to put that grease into your wood grain and it will pop up on you. It's done it to me. So I know some people say that that's not true and that can't happen, but it has happened to me before. So that's why I think it's important to clean before I sand. Now I am bound and determined to get these mirrored slats off of these drawers, so I got out my upholstery tools and went to work. Then I applied one coat of primer just so I wouldn't have any bleed through issues with the particle board. I wanted the drawer fronts to have a rattan instead of those gold plates that were on there, so I just used the gold plates as templates and traced along my cane webbing that I got off of Amazon and used that to attach to the drawers. I chose a sage green color to paint the body of the dresser and the drawers. I made an A-frame base for this dresser using a 1x2x8 and my Craig Jig pocket hole maker. We added some small reinforcements to the inside of the dresser and then made the pilot holes for the A-frame on the outside. Now that my cane inserts are ready to be inserted, I'll use my nail gun to secure them. And one last quick view at this funky 80s dresser and what it can be made into. I love the addition of these A-frame legs on the side and the cane in the front instead of those mirrored drawers. Just elevated it a lot into a bit more of a boho beauty and away from that 1980s look. This one, like I said, I paid $120 for, and we sold it on Facebook Marketplace for $700. As we wrap up this journey through my hottest furniture flips of 2023, I hope you found inspiration in these transformations. Which one was your favorite? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to click that link below to visit Prime Opinions, where your opinions equal cash. Be sure to check it out for a little extra jingle in your pocket this holiday season. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date on the latest trends, creative DIY projects, and surprising transformations, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. And until next time, happy designing, and I can't wait to share more exciting projects with you at Lemons to Lemonade Furniture.